So for my explanation assignment, I decided to dig deeper into Plato's idea of reincarnation and his idea that the soul never perishes, but the body does. So when thinking about it, it's kind of like an idea that makes sense to me in my mind because I've always had the idea that reincarnation is a thing, and you take the learnings from your past life into your other life, and whatever you do bad in your other life will affect what you do in your next life. And I feel like that's kind of what he says when he and Socrates talk about, like, by living a philosophical life, you eventually free your soul from the body. Um, so I feel like that's like when they say that, it's like they're talking about how when you live a life where you question, where you don't just live with the norms of your life and the norms in the world you live in and what just goes on, and you try to experience it, learn, explore, uh, meet new people, experience new things, really learn from role models and teachers and just people who help you, and you really use that and question what they say, in a good way, not in a bad way. And you kind of just learn from them and take it with your own and use them in your own experiences, and then learn from that, and then teach them to other people. Because I feel as if that idea that you your ideas aren't passed down, and the job that I feel like every person, um, I feel like has a certain job in their life, or has a purpose that I feel as if they don't complete that purpose, there has to be a way to where they can complete it. Um, and I feel like if one person doesn't, or people in general, don't really experience everything they need to and don't really get their teachings or pass down their learnings from other people in their lives, that I feel like it's a little bit of a waste. And I feel like that's why there's this idea of reincarnation, that people have these ideas that they need to share with other people. And especially when Plato says that, when you randomly think of these ideas that you've never learned before, that you never knew about, and it's impossible for anyone to teach you because no one's ever brought it up to you. How does that happen? Like, how can that be? How can you just think of something without ever knowing it, ever learning about it, ever even talking about a topic or a subject? And I find that crazy because where would you have gotten that information from? And when looking at it, it's like it makes a lot of sense, um, because I'm sure for many people there's instances in their life where they've done something and they're like, how did I do that? How did I know how to do that? How did I know how to do it so well? How did it feel so natural? And they've never done it before. And I feel as if that's a perfect example when you really think about it. How? Well, there had to be some time in some point of your mind or your soul where they knew what was going on and they knew how to do it, and you just like your mind pondered on that idea and it stuck with it and it stayed with you, and you've carried it from one life to another life, because if no one's taught you, how would you ever know how to do it? And I feel like it's a very complex idea, and sometimes it's a scary thought. And I feel like that's why I'm so interested in it, because I feel as if you don't really, no one really knows what happens. No one knows what happens when you die, because at the end of it, you're dead. There's no explanation to it because no one knows what happens. But when there are these ideas that Plato brings up and Socrates, that um, that there's no way your body just ends and your soul and the knowledge you have doesn't carry on. Um, it makes a lot of sense, because I feel as if you don't learn and experience all these things in your life without a bigger purpose in the end. And I feel as if that's why they said this, because I feel like they realize that there's so many crazy things in this world that you experience and you learn. There's so many people and just so many wild things that happen, that there's no way it just ends and that's the end of it. And you just experience them for no bigger cause. Um, and I feel like that's why it's so interesting to me. And I really like the idea, and I thought it was really cool that, there's people back then that even thought about this idea and thought it was a real thing. Because, I've thought about it for a long time, and I think that there is no way that you experience all these crazy things in your life without there being a bigger purpose in the end.